Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to Daily's 2A News. Today I want to talk about background checks ending in certain states, effectively putting a stop to the Second Amendment. Now, I'm sure just about everybody watching this video understands what a background check is and when a background check is performed for purchasing firearms. If you go through an FFL or your gun shop, you're going to have to go through a background check. You fill out a form called a 4473, and then they run that through the background check system, and then when it comes back that you're okay, then they can go ahead and they can transfer the firearm to you. But what if that background check system was no longer available or it was shut down? These FFLs and gun shops wouldn't be able to transfer anything to pretty much anybody. And that's what's happening in certain states. There are certain states right now that are no longer processing background checks. And since they're not processing the background checks, nobody's able to purchase a firearm, which means that the Second Amendment is rendered pretty much ineffective at that point, because anybody that doesn't own a firearm that wants to practice their Second Amendment rights and go pick one up now can't because of that background check system. Now, this is not taking place in all states. It seems like there are just a handful of states right now that are not allowing background checks to actually be processed. I watched a video the other day by Johnny over at 180 Second Ideas, and he showed a screenshot of the background check system for his state, and it says that no background checks will be processed at this time, and from what I saw, it didn't really give a date as to when they were going to start processing background checks again. Now, I live in the state of Nevada. They are still processing background checks, but there are some different things that are happening. So I just got off the phone with Spartan Arms, Nathan, who's the general manager over at Spartan Arms, and he says that yes, background checks are still being processed in Nevada. However, the background check system, or the people that they call in order to do the background check, are actually going to be closing earlier than normal. So usually they're open till about 5:30 on the West Coast. On the West Coast now, they're going to be closing at 2 o'clock. Now, Spartan Arms already has a backlog of background checks because of the sudden rush of firearm purchases, and their backlog is going 4 days right now. So if you do not have a concealed carry permit in the state of Nevada, it's going to be a 4-day wait before they can actually transfer it to you, because they're basically, they just got like a stack like this of background checks that they need to call in, they need to process before the transfer can take place. So yes, it's happening in some states, but it's becoming so much less efficient because, again, they were open till 5:30, now they're closing at 2. So you're talking about a big time window that's now been closed. You already have all these different shops that have backlogs, and they're trying to get all of these through. And from what I understand, they're only processing about 20 at a time. So before, you can call in a bunch of background checks and, get all that stuff done so you can get all your transfers out the door. Well, right now they're limiting you to about 20 background checks. That means that it's only 20 at a time, and if they're sitting on 150, it means they're going to take quite a while before they can actually get the rest of those through. So it's a big mess right now, but you can see that this whole background check system and, the push for universal background checks, not only is it a way to slow things down, but at the same time, it's also a way where maybe even inadvertently, the Second Amendment can be paused or essentially stopped, frozen, because of the background check system. Now, the way that I think that this needs to be fixed is I think that background checks need to be done with for now. I think that transfers should just happen for the time being. If the background checks are not allowed to happen and people are not able to get the firearms that they want, then we should do away with the background checks for the time being until the system is back up and running, so that it doesn't interrupt anybody's ability to practice their Second Amendment rights and get something to defend themselves. Now, for all those people out there that are freaking out saying you can't stop the background check system because people that aren't supposed to get these firearms are going to get them. Well, guess what? Those people that aren't supposed to get them can get them anyway. Okay, they're not like the good people that you and I are that go through all of the legal systems, the right ways to do things. These are people who know the black market. They know where to get things anyway, or they just steal them from other people that actually have them. They'll just break into somebody's house and take what they need. These are the people that go around the law instead of, with the law, like you and I. So again, you don't have to worry necessarily about, oh, bad people are going to get them now when they didn't before, because bad people still got them before. They found ways to get them. The problem is that the good people now, the people that just want to protect their homes, their families, and so forth, aren't going to be able to get them. So your first-time gun buyer that's going out there because he's worried about, some type of social breakdown because of what's happening right now, that's the person who's in most need. Okay, that's the person who we need to make sure that we're standing up for the Second Amendment for, because if they're not able to get it and defend their family, well, their Second Amendment has essentially been just completely abolished. And we can't stand for that. We have to make sure that we stand up for everybody. So again, even though it seems kind of radical to some people, I know that there are a lot of people out there in the gun world that see background checks as a positive thing because it keeps, a lot of these criminals from going through legal channels in order to get things. I still am 100% behind the fact that we cannot stop people from getting them, even if it means abolishing backgrounds for the time being. I think that the bad guy is always going to be able to get them. The good guy who's going to go through the legal channels is going to be the one who's left out in the cold, and we cannot allow that to happen. So just want to let you guys know there are certain states right now that are not allowing background checks to go forward, and they're essentially stopping the sale of firearms. As far as private transfers go, I'm not sure how each state is going to be handling private transfers. Some private transfers do not require a background check and so forth. So, whether or not you can transfer something over to your brother or your sister, or your mom, your dad, interfamilial transfers and things like that are kind of governed different per state. But, as far as the FFLs and shops are considered, their hands are tied if they can't produce a background check that allows them to transfer you your firearms. So people's firearms that they've purchased are probably just going to be sitting there. Let's say you purchase something from Palmetto. It shows up in 3 days right to your FFL, but there's no way to conduct a background check. That's just going to sit at the FFL. They're not going to allow you to pick it up because they can't do a background check on you. So yeah, again, it's just absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now, and we need to make sure that we continue, even though a lot of legislative sessions are out right now, we still continue to put pressure on these people to allow us to practice our Second Amendment rights. They shouldn't be infringed in any way during any circumstances, especially a circumstance like this, which may require you to actually defend yourself if things were to break down. So just be aware of what's going on in your state. If you don't know if your state is still doing background checks or if your FFL is still able to do transfers, make sure you just get on the phone, give them a call, and ask. They will probably be happy to tell you what's in stock and what they can do for you. So, just pay attention to what's going on around you. It's kind of at a not only a national level, but a local level as well. So I wanted to make you guys aware of what's going on out there. Just do your best to try and keep on top of things. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.